All right. So let's check the audio very quickly. Ayan, may konting echo. So ibig sabihin, you guys should be in. All right, and can hear me loud and clear. So there you go. It's 8 and 8 today, right? And it's 8:30 on the clock. It's August 8th. It's 8:30 and it's Monday, of course. So umpisa na naman ulit ng ating new trading week. I hope you guys were able to catch some moves earlier, especially for the ones that nag-drop nung Friday. No? So, few bits of correction in the market. Tawag dito? Ano nangyari today. So, let's go and jump in doon. Tingnan natin kung anong pwede nating pasukin. Right? Tingnan natin kung ano pang mga pwede nating gawin if hindi man tayo nakahabol doon sa unang bugso kanina. Ano? So, let me go and jump in now to my charts. And as always, as we start free for the week, testing my pen here. Okay, good. All right. So, tingnan natin. Let's have a fresh look of the markets again so we can set the whole trading plan for the whole week. That is. Okay? So, tingnan natin this is AUD/USD again. Starting on the daily chart. Looking for major levels to watch out for this coming week. And we see the obvious ones here. At least yung pinaka-peak within that 3-month period. Okay? If you're looking at short-term swings or yung recent swings, ito lang yung nandito sa aking gray na box. Okay? So, pwede nating tingnan yan. Balik tayo sa price action. Okay. So, ibig sabihin yan yung mga pwede nating tingnan. Right? For the whole week. So, nag-zoom out tayo ng konti. Okay. If you want to be a little conservative sa area na to, pwede nyo namang ibaba yan dito sa pinaka eto. Right? Tapos, adjust nyo na lang. Okay. So, at least there's still bar touching there. So, okay. So, ibig sabihin, if the price breaks out of this area right here, we might possibly expect for that to go down there. So, again, having a fresh look on the market is what I suggest for you to do every start of the week para, again, kung ano man yung naging bias nyo from last week, not necessarily like totally changing it, pero at least magkaroon kayo ng panibagong view or perspective kung anong mangyayari for the next coming weeks. All right? So, but anyway, I usually focus on the recent 3 months, right? Kasi mas relevant yung price action dyan. Though hindi ko naman sinasabi na hindi na nire-respect ni market yung mga previous or historical data, sa akin lang is if there are levels that the market can actually respect on the recent price action, then I would like to focus more there, right? A classic example is still getting this data right here kasi ito yung una kong chine-check from last week. So, technically, pwede ko pa rin naman yan ibalik dyan. Okay? So, kung lalagay rin natin yan dyan, this is now becoming the ceiling, right? A little bit conservative. Yeah, a little lower than the previous. Okay? So, titingnan natin. Yan yung pinakauna. Okay. In some cases, by the way, for the sake of this discussion, in some cases, I will set sort of like a zone here, right? To see if the price can really break through or break out of that area. Pero dahil meron na tayong floor dito, tas may malaking zone tayo na inaabangan, I don't think this will be this will be relevant. Mas makakalito lang. So, ibig sabihin, dito ako magfo-focus. What does it mean? If the price can go and break out of this, so ito na yung una kong babantayan, tapos break out doon. So, technically, sa area na yan sa taas, it would be a short-term trade. Kung dito naman tayo magsasell, would be a short-term trade just within this box right here, or what I usually call the zone. Ibig sabihin, if it can break through at mas bumaba pa siya lower, dito na tayo mag-extend ng ating sell and further if needed. Okay? So, if that's the case, if you weren't able to get in on this spike, ay kung maalala nyo, ito yung breakout from last week. Okay? Now, that correction have happened already. Now, touching the 68.81 level. So, will it break out or will it go back? That's the next thing that I want to see. Given that we are seeing a downtrend here, right, at least from earlier today, I was waiting for a reversal somewhere here. Tapos dun sana ako mag-aabang. Pero look at that spike right there. Just to give you an idea what am I looking at earlier. So I was anticipating for a reversal somewhere here at 61.8. Nung nagtuloy-tuloy siya, though I have set my 78.6 there. So I don't usually get in here. So pag nang ganyan ang nangyari, nag-aantay na lang ako dun sa pinakataas. Very close na rin naman for a double top, right? So, dito kanina lahat ng pending orders natin dyan hindi naman na-trigger. Especially nung unang touch sa 38.2, at least a retest of that breakout from Friday, hindi rin natuloy. So, meaning, wala tayong nakuhang position dito kasi nag-opposite si market. No? Pero buti na rin yun. Hindi tayo na-trigger for a sell as we are looking at this downtrend. Ito yung na-anticipate ko na move kanina because the recent high or low is lower than the previous. So ibig sabihin there's a possibility of a reversal. Though your D1 is not showing that yet kasi of course if you're following the EMAs there, it's not showing any form of or at least a sign of reversal. Not unless this price failed to go higher than the previous or failed to break the 69.81 level, right? So, ibig sabihin, pag umakyat to, may chance pa rin naman tayo dyan. Kasi if you go and look at the bigger picture, right? This is just the recent reversal. So, baka pullback lang to din, saka siya magbe-breakout papunta doon. Alright? So, either way, kung yung long term ang titingnan natin, I won't be involved for a long term buy until it breaks this level, 61.8. So, malamang sa ngayon, magfo-focus ako sa short-term sell until it reach the bottom of this tinatawag nating zone. Okay? So, will I go in now? Tingnan natin. May little hesitation dyan from the market. Again, we're looking at the double top based on our H4 chart. D1 is not actually. So, we're taking that short-term double top here. Tingnan natin kung magfo-form to ng sideways. Alright? If not naman, then we're totally fine. Ibig lang sabihin nun, then our bias would possibly change for the rest of the week. Okay? If a breakout can happen. So, let's see. Okay. That's good. Touching. May konting rejection dyan. On the 30-minute chart, yep, rejection is seen. Beautiful shooting star. Oh, sorry. Shooting star. A hammer here or a lotus bar. Pero medyo alangan ako sa entry price na yan. Pero it's looking interesting if the price can really push that up. Pero knowing that I'm on the 15-minute chart, I would love to get in on a buy when it touches or very close to the EMA. This is not. So, possible pullback here pero narrow na yung space. So, mukhang wala talaga akong mahuhuli ngayon for the whole of Monday. Wala akong nalagay na possession talaga na kasi I'm not satisfied with what I'm seeing. So, ibig sabihin, as patient as we can be, we're only taking trades na comfortable tayo. And of course, my confidence to really keep the trade there. Right? So, yeah, what you will observe me doing is definitely the most conservative way that you can trade. Right? And of course, every now and then, meron din naman tayong konting aggressive sa katawan pero still not compromising our risk management. Okay? So, yun yung lagi natin tatandaan. Alright, anyway, so short-term look will be a sell and I would like to see some validation here very quickly lang from our stochastic oscillator. I'll go for 8 here. So, simple exponential here. Okay, I'm okay with that. All right, so look at that, really staying above that overbought level. Pero it was there before, right? It was here before, at least for today, no? Kung yan ang titingnan natin. Pero of course, saan ba natin nakikita yung double top? Hindi naman sa 15 minutes na mas clear, di ba? So, mas clear ko siya nakikita sa H4. So, dito ko siya i-validate. Okay? So, pagdating naman dito, so nakita natin overbought. Good job, overbought. Ceiling, tapos overbought. Now, yes, it's touching the ceiling, pero medyo hindi pa talaga siya overbought. So, I would anticipate for the price to, if not break out of this level, probably would consolidate first before dropping, just like what happened here. If this is, okay, or what do you say, if magtutuloy-tuloy yung double top na sinasabi natin. Okay? So, titingnan natin dyan kung talagang may intention, right, si buyers to really break through of that level. So for people who are a little bit advanced, probably you're looking at reversals, probably some divergence or convergence there, or for some probably like hidden divergence as well, a sign of continuation. So it really depends. It's very optional. Okay, just always remember that anything or any indicator that you're using still relies its movement or computation from the price action. So as much as possible, I'd like you to have your analysis starting sa price action talaga, not rely heavily on indicators. You take it this way, the indicators can just give you like secondary confirmation to whatever the initial bias is. So kung yung initial bias coming from the price action is hindi nyo ma-establish, then for me personally, there's no point on looking at indicators. Okay? Kasi again, asan ba kukunin ni indicator yung datang ibibigay niya sa'yo kundi kay price action din. So, kung hindi natin maintindihan si price action, it will be a little bit very, very, a little bit challenging to interpret what the indicator is telling us. Okay, so in this case, we are looking for a bearish move. So, it's either we are anticipating for a reversal or well, technically a reversal of this one from here or possible continuation. Yun lang naman, no? So let's see. I'm looking at stochastic here. If I'm looking for a bearish move from the price action, this is not really showing higher high, but this is technically a lower high here on the indicator, which tells me that there's a possibility of a reversal somewhere in this area. Okay? Hihina lang tong possibility na to if ma-break niya to, and ibig sabihin may magkakaroon siya ng continuation dito, magiging bullish siya, right? In this case. Pero I would not say that it will really go up there right away. So dito ako aabangan. So usually for me, by the way, if you're noticing, I have my orange and blue there. In some cases, I change this colors as well para parang ganito. Again, a little tip lang coming from me as a tip on how I read these indicators now. So from here below, ang ginagawa ko kasi dyan, parang EMA din. Inaantay ko yan na parang mag-crossover or parang mag-kiss or maglapit sa each other. So, saka magkakaroon ng switch in direction. So, dun ko yun usually inaabangan. So, parang mga areas na ganito at saka ganito. So, ito medyo malayo-layo pa. So, I don't want to go and jump in on that sell right away, like right now. Kasi anyway, maghanap pa ako ng entry price. So, yun yung ina-anticipate ko dito ngayon. Okay? But again, we cannot discount the fact that the price can still break out and move on a different or take a different direction. Okay? So at least alam ko kung anong binabantayan ko for the rest of the evening or until the rest of the week. So tingnan natin anong mangyayari kay AUD/USD for tonight and the rest of the week. Anyway, babalikan naman natin to pagdating ng Wednesday. Wag lang ako madi-disconnect. Yeah. And yes, of course, if you have not seen my post on my personal account, I really apologize for the guys who have missed, or I've missed the session last Wednesday. Hindi talaga ako makakonect. We were in the hospital. My wife got confined, so I apologize. We tried to connect pero hindi talaga gumaayos yung internet connection. So at least, yeah, we're back on the session again. All right. So that's the bias. If it breaks out, by the way, let's see how it goes from here. As you know me, if you were with me for the longest time, after a breakout, I really wait for a pullback, right? And I will go and buy near to the floor as well. So I am not rushing into a buy now. Even my 15 minutes needs to go back and touch here. So not really rushing into buy now. Pero sabi ko nga, medyo interesting talaga yung pin bar na to. Right? So the aggressive me is like really, yeah, giving me the siko on the side saying, pasok na tayo dun, right? But of course, yeah, as conservative as we want to be, I'd like to see a much better setup where I can be very confident to take the trade and leave it there. Okay? So balikan natin si AUD/USD as the market progressed for the week. But of course, the bias is a sell, right? So just like what we have done on AUD/USD, and what we'll be doing for the rest of the currency pairs that we have there, always have a fresh look. At least for me, this is what I do. Again, this is not an instruction for you to do it for yourself as well, but if you find it helpful to have a fresh look on your chart every week, at least every Monday, delete all the lines, drawings, indicators. Well, I'm always keeping my EMA, so at least that's an exemption there. And have a look on the price action muna, okay? There are three different ways to look at price action. You have your bars, candles, and your line chart. So my line chart will be helpful for drawing my horizontal levels, okay? To tell me yung mga highs and lows in the market that I need to watch out for. So just in case the price breaks through, pwede kayo maglagay ng abang dyan. Pero kung ayaw nyo naman then you can keep the most recent ceiling and floor, right? So for me, yan titingnan natin. Tapos in cases that I want to validate if these levels are really strong, I zoom out a bit to find relevant levels in the past that I can be a little bit concerned now. Pero wala akong nakikita. So ibig sabihin, I'll be focusing more on this area. So from here, well, obviously, the price already have moved after the drop, tapos papunta na doon. So that's the 62.12 level really held, yeah, pretty strongly since the beginning of August. So dalawang beses na siya na-try. So we have that double bottom here that will be visible on your 4-hourly chart. Look at that. Well, technically, if sasama mo tong slight move here, well, yung sinabi ko lang naman is the month of August. Ito pa lang yung pagkakapasok dito towards dito. So hindi natin isasali itong isa dito kasi July yan. Pero at least for the month of August, dalawang beses niya na ito na-test and the sellers failed to push the price lower. So in this case, there's a very good chance that we'll go back to our buy bias Kung maalala nyo, una tayo nag-sell dito tapos na-stop out lang ako somewhere here. Tapos bumagsak ito. Pero anyway, yun na nga, things happen, no? Pero one thing is for sure, the initial analysis was successful, right? Or finalo naman ni market kasi we were selling from the ceiling, right? I can remember when I was when I was doing that session, there was someone on the Zoom saying, yeah, the reason why there's a possibility for it to get stop out I mean, we were trading against the trend, but this is just the short-term trend. If you look at D1, yes, that's the long-term trend. So we're actually trading against the trend here, but we are not trading simply just because we want to trade against the trend. It's touching the ceiling kasi. So yun yung naging pinaka-reason natin. Well, true enough, that pullback happened, right? So the next plan now is to how to take advantage the now. Right? So alam na natin na strong yung ceiling doon. Price have moved up there. Kung na-miss nyo to, so re-entry ang hinahanap natin. EMAs have crossed over. If we're following the trend here from this floor towards the ceiling, we have the EMAs crossing over. So a little bit closer to the EMA will be the first thing that I would wait for a conservative long position for this one. Okay. Usually, what I would go for is a zone somewhere here to be safer. Okay, so ibig sabihin, magkaroon ng consolidation dito from last week. I'm not sure kung naalala niyo to, no? Ito yung consolidation. It might also look like a symmetrical triangle if you go to the bars lang, right? So parang nagiging symmetrical siya dito sa area until it was broken nung Friday, yeah? So from here, ibig sabihin, I would like to see a little pullback. So ang pinaka-buy ko would be the peak of that zone, right? Kung magbabay man tayo somewhere here tapos hanggang doon lang. Okay, so yan yung babantayan ko. Okay, let's see if we can have an early pullback. Not really clear on the 15-minute chart. If I can get in now. One thing is for sure, I need to wait for this pullback to happen, then buy tayo. So technically, yung bias natin is for a buy. Okay, while sell naman kay AUD USD, which is a little bit different kasi this is very, very close to the ceiling. But that could be changed or updated if, this 69.81 level will be broken. So, titingnan natin yan. Abangan natin. Abangan natin. But ito kasi, the difference is, this is just a tiny little zone here. But yes, you can also consider this as a ceiling trying to break out. So, ang sinasabi ko is a short-term buy at least towards this. Pero pag hindi naman, then malamang sa malamang hanap tayo ng sell if the price goes back lower than this zone. Okay? So, ang ibig lang sabihin nun, there's a possibility of the price being rejected somewhere in this area. Kaya kailangan natin abangan yun. Right? Kung gusto mo natin ipilit dito, it would be a short-term buy lang sa atin. Somewhere between 20 to like about 25 pips. Masyado na malaki yung 30 if ever. So, plus minus your spread pa. Diba? So, you could possibly bank somewhere at 20 or less. Okay? So, yun yung tinitingnan natin kay NZD USD. GBP USD on the other hand. Okay, I was waiting for the pullback now here. Okay, look at that. Kay 61.8 po ako nakaabang nung unang entry. Okay. This shooting star has not been triggered yet. So, look at that. This is from that move right there. So, tingnan natin kung kaya niyang i-reverse yan for the rest of the evening pa rin naman. Pero, just to give you a clear view, okay, kaya na sabi natin, right? I have a fresh look, right? For the benefit of everyone joining us now, or if you're watching the recorded version, okay? Then I hope this is something that you will find helpful later on, okay? So, tingnan natin ang pinaka-recent, ito, unang tingin natin. Focus na ako dun sa major, saglit lang kasi ito yung una kong nakita as I deleted the lines. Okay? So, medyo malayo-layo pa dyan doon. Oops, sorry. So, in this case, mukhang talagang itong recent na high talaga ang kukunin ko. Tapos tinatahi-tahi niya lang dito, no? Interesting. So, to be more conservative, I will go for the recent high. And from there, I would like to validate if there's something in the past that could back up or back me up and say that this level is really significant. Okay? Well, if I go for this zone, parang mas nagiging makapal Tumatama ba? Okay. So, itong area na to parang at saka area na to Okay, good. Pero masyado na tong pop. Ito kasi galing sa taas kaya talaga na-reject siya. But we're coming from below, so talagang ceiling. Okay, ang pinaka-stretch ko, tanggalin ko yan. Ang pinaka-stretch ko will be the recent high. Okay, para iwas confusion. Again, maganda siya tingnan. Nagmumukhang trader ka talaga pag marami kang analysis niyan. Pero kung nakakalito na rin naman, Boss, bawasan mo na yung lines mo. Okay, so coming from the floor here at 1990 or 1910, or to be exact, sorry, it's 1.1990. Okay, so nag-bounce na siya from Friday pa lang after that big drop. So tingnan natin, we were successful on our sell here from this area. Okay, kung maalala nyo, nag-move pa tayo ng 1:1. Yun nga lang, early tayo nakapag-exit sa 1:1. Pero anyway, we're back on that level. Very, very close to where we got in, right? Friday. So, is there a possibility for this now to turn around and move towards the opposite direction? It's not visible on the 4-hourly chart. For that correction, di rin tayo umabot dito sa pinaka-floor to find that entry price there. Actually, ito na nga, bumalik doon. Tapos, okay, may early crossover na tayo nakikita sa 1-hourly chart, which is actually moving, well, this is the EMA crossover. So, it have moved from that crossover. Nag-move na siya na about 27 pips. Yeah, plus minus. Yish, depending on your brokerage. Okay. And I'm very much interested to go long here. Looking for good reasons to go long kasi mas malaki pa yung area doon. Pero, wala akong makitang entry price, my friend. But I'm very, very, very confident to see this price to move in that direction. Just want to go in for a quick buy till the next resistance. Wala akong mahanap na entry price. Anyway, okay, the plan now would be 15-minute. If I see that crossover, touch clear, or near, near the EMA or touch, okay, dun tayo papasok. There could be a little change there, all right? As we are finding that the 1-hourly chart is struggling to break the previous high, no? So, yeah, so parang nagli-lead siya sa over-analysis. So tingnan na lang natin. Wala talaga pa rin naman ako makitang entry. If the price goes back to the yellow EMA or the orange EMA, then saka tayo maghahanap ng opportunity there to buy. Balikan natin siya. Okay? So my bias for GBPSD is still a buy. Okay? So moving on, tagalin natin ulit. Again, all the indicators, all the lines that you have there, back to the D1 chart. Okay? And redraw. Okay, our levels there. So one for here, this is the most recent one. Okay, and the lowest of course. And kung maalala nyo kanina, parang may gray area din doon because we're seeing or we have experienced this bit of consolidation here on a downtrend, which is actually representing the pullback on this downtrend. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin nun? Is there a possibility for Euro USD to go south anytime soon? Yeah. So, ibig sabihin, naka-stand pa rin yung bias ko for a sell. Nga lang, kung maalala nyo, hindi tayo makahanap ng entry price from last week. Ito, hindi ko talaga din naman siya ginalaw na. Pero anyway, if I will just redraw my horizontal lines, my fib levels here. So, we're still playing around that 50-38 fib. Hindi talaga siya nagbe-break out. Kung maalala nyo, ang pinakaplano ko to sell if it goes to the 61.8. But it never did. And now it's consolidating. It is actually looking like an ascending triangle on a different angle. And as much as I want to, can't really find a good entry there. Pero tingnan natin, Tingnan natin. Yeah, you're actually seeing a bit of a symmetrical here then sa lower time frame. So there's a bit of indecision there. And if we get in, sabihin na lang natin, Ken, may sideways dyan. Hindi mo kailangan ng EMA. Yes, I'm looking at this potential sideways to continue, right? Ang challenge mo lang kasi is na nasa kalagitnaan ka na nga ng sideways. Wala ka pang mahanap na entry price. So I call this actually like a no man's land. A level where I can't really decide whether I want to buy or sell. So yeah, instead of hurting myself there later on, move on to the next currency pair tayo. Kahit bumaba pa ako sa 15 minutes, wala rin ako mahanap na possible entry dyan dahil nga sa symmetrical. And I usually want to like wait for the symmetrical triangle to break before I get in. Okay? So that's a different story. I would like to pass on Euro USD at least for now. Balikan natin siya on Wednesday or probably bukas as soon as I can see anything that I can get in reasonably, then reassess ako. Okay, so in that case, look at that drop on USD CAD as we speak, at least for the last 2 hours. Bumalik na naman siya ulit sa floor after the spike here. Yeah, kung makikita niyo yan from Friday. So ito na siya, balik na siya ulit sa floor. Pero as always, yeah, we want to have a fresh look of the market. Again, not the indicators. object list. Kung mapapansin nyo, yan ang tinatanggal ko dyan. So we're now back at the floor level, which is the 2855 level or 1.2855. And will it break? Will it bounce? That's the next question. Looking at your trend on lower time frame or even on D1, we're seeing this short-term momentum pushing in that direction. So nakaabang tayo for a long on USD CAD. That's my initial reaction to whatever we're seeing now. Okay, tapos punta ako sa 4 hours dyan at makikita natin that we are actually seeing some waves or cycles, whatever you want to call it, but we are seeing an uptrend. Okay, so meaning initial is like or my lazy the lazy Ken will just rely on the EMA. The not so lazy Ken will go and check. Yeah, let's draw. Oh, not this Fibonacci, but this one. Okay, and let's go and see. Yeah, that's actually touching the 78 level na, so a little bit of a stretch there. Okay, so ibig sabihin if the price goes back to 61.8, then I'll be interested. Pero pag hindi, bababa siya dito, and this will be like a tinier or narrower room to operate. But if we go and measure it, that's still a decent 30 pipper. So for the people who are just looking to bank maybe 10 or 20 pips, okay, maybe less than 20 pips, probably somewhere in the middle, right? That's still a reasonable area to operate. So titingnan natin, no? At least on the 4 hourly chart, a 3-bar pattern here will be good. I would not expect for a bullish engulfing anymore. This is too deep for the price to move further. In just few minutes left na lang. Pero tingnan natin to, no? Very, very interested to see how this can progress for the rest of the week because, oops, ay, na-close ko pala, sandali ah. Labs. Yun, binibreak niya yung 78.6 level ko. So tingnan natin kung, pero bias ko dito, buy pa. For now, at least, no? So titingnan natin. Pangay nakita ko dito kanina. Sorry. USD CAD. Okay. San ka na? Ayun, yun na nga. So, yun, hindi pala bukas, sorry. The CPI number will be out. 10 pala, hindi ko nabasa. So, that will be on Wednesday. So, this could possibly change for the rest of the trading days until Wednesday. May magre-reassess tayo. Sakto-sakto, 8:30 din nakaschedule yung CPI report. Again, a reminder lang why traders care, right? If you can have that article on a Forex Factory, you usually na question or usual question, why do we care as currency traders? Well, the numbers that we would see on CPI report will be a majority of this is like a way to measure inflation in some sense, no? So ibig sabihin, rising prices could possibly lead to bank raising interest rates, di ba? So, parang mga ganun. So, titingnan natin. The usual effect naman, as we can see it, if the numbers that we'll be seeing here on Wednesday is higher than the forecasted number, then it would be good for, thanks Alexa, it would be good for the dollar. In that case, if we're looking at USD CAD, sinasabi natin it will be good for the dollar, then the price is likely to go up, right? So, parang ilagay nyo ng ganito. My always illustration here is putting those currency pairs in a seesaw. And when we say good for the dollar will be heavy. And at the end of that seesaw, there's like a pointer here that will point for like the significant price. So if you have the dollar here and you have your Canadian dollar here too, oops, sorry. Bakit na writing ko? Right? So, Canadian dollar there. So, ibig sabihin, when you say good for the US dollar, then this price magiging mabigat siya sa seesaw and this price can possibly point in that direction. So, tataas. Yun yung ibig sabihin. Right? So, you can go and rewind that if may na-miss out tayo. Pero anyway, if there are questions there, you can go and send me a private message or direct message. I would love to address whatever confusion or maybe expound that further for you. Okay? So, but anyway, bouncing off a floor level, that's very good sign. Okay? Kaya ang initial reaction ko is a buy. Though 2 days away pa tayo dun sa high impact news. So, ibig sabihin, we are likely to see a little bit of correction here. Yun ang gusto natin makita, right? So, 15 minutes, yun talaga yung pullback down. That's about a 40 pipper move. That looks good, right? I'm very much interested to see how it can progress. So, I would like to see a much better entry price here, probably on the 1 hourly chart for that pullback. Pero dahil sa malaking drop na to, probably hanggang dito lang sa next pa tayo. Layo naman ang entry natin kung dito. So 15 minutes talaga yung nagbibigay sa akin ng like, hey, get in now possibility, right? So that's what I want to see from here. Pero sandali lang ha, I'd like to see some validation very quickly from a friend of mine. Oh, not that. Yeah. Hi, friend. Let's check you here on the 15-minute chart at least. All right, nandun pa rin tayo sa overbought, or sorry, oversold level. So it's struggling here a bit. Now, at least on the 15-minute chart, if you're noticing this, okay, we have a lower low on the price, okay, and we have a higher low on the indicator. So this shows some form of divergence, and the price is likely to move in that direction. So I would not expect for that to go further, at least touch ng EMA to begin with. So dito ako mag-aabang for the rest of the evening. Hanap tayo ng entry price dyan. We're seeing a divergence here, and this is a reversal divergence, or bullish divergence, I mean, anticipating for a reversal. So tingnan natin. We'll see. Lala ako makakitang reasonable na entry price, but this area is really looking good. If I can put it a little bit lower somewhere here, I think that a 30 pepper will do. Tingnan natin. Then a bit of a 1:1. Yeah, sige, hanap tayo ng entry price yan. Wala lang talaga akong makita. Abangan ko yan for probably the next 15-minute bar. Okay? So we have about 13 minutes until the next one expires. Okay? So let me know in the comment section too, or maybe next or that's the next session, like on Wednesday. Let me know if you were able to catch some trades here too. Okay, so we're looking for a bullish divergence here. Looking at the EMAs, you're actually like trading against this move right here, like against the trend. So ibig sabihin, we're kind of trading the pullback here. Pero again, if you're looking at the bigger picture, okay, oops, sorry. Let me go back to D1 there. Looking at the bigger picture, ito yung actually na tinitingnan natin. So we want to see that price move in that direction. So pag hindi naman, then we're definitely open for a sell, since you're oops, sorry, I would not rely on this one really kasi we're still looking at this upturn from the floor, right? So tinignan ko lang yung short-term move natin doon on the 15-minute chart. All right? So but anyway, bias USD CAD is to buy. I'm just waiting for a much better entry price there. Let's see how we can progress from there. Okay? USD CHF have dropped as well, okay? Pero of course, we're going back to D1, and well, technically, sandali do I really need to redraw? Wala namang masyadong significant. Okay. Yeah, I just need to remind myself of this one. Okay. I forgot to do that. So from here, at least on the D1 chart, wala namang masyadong significant na nangyari talaga na parang mag-a-adjust malaki yung analysis natin. Pero yes, of course, if you go to the lower time frame, look at that big jump there from Friday, tapos ngayon may little bit of correction tayo. So you're seeing short-term sideways move here, which is much better for me if I buy somewhere at this area close to the floor for a double bottom, if this can be a sideways move. So if you're looking for a short-term sell here, meron naman tayo nakikitang opportunity to get in here. Pero I would say close to the EMA for a sell will be a much confident move for me, just like what happened in this area right here. So parang ito, okay? Parang ganyan yung example natin. Kung gusto ko man mag-sell, tumama siya doon, saka ako mag-sell, right? Same thing with the 15-minute chart, okay? So my bias here is to look for a short or a sell position up until probably 95.28 or 0.9528. Yan yung magiging floor level, or take profit natin will be set somewhere in that area. Assuming that we can get in now, towards the next floor will be like about a 40-ish move, right? 40-ish pips, I mean. Okay, so if you're planning to just collect half of it, then yeah, that's a reasonable target to go for. Okay? And pero of course, again, plus minus pa po kung saan nyo ilalagay yung entry nyo. Ako wala pa akong makitang entry, a pullback, at least on the 15-minute chart, done bouncing off the EMA, yun ang gusto ko makita. Right? Anyway, dollar yen on the other hand, okay? Given that it has bounced off, tanggalin ko lang to. Let's have a fresh look here. Sorry. Okay. This level from last week. Okay. So, ang pinaka-adjustment ko lang yan. Dito ako nakaabang ng bounce. Okay. Pero mas bumaba siya dito. So, ibig sabihin, may tiny adjustment tayo dito. Yun yung makukuhanin natin na mas low. Though, it's still touching the bar here. Right? Pero dito tayo nakafocus. So, ibig sabihin, mas in-stretch lang natin yung floor. For some reasons, some people or me, sometimes I put a zone here Para maalala ko lang itong low dito na nakita ko, right? Dun sa line chart na yan, parang ganyan. Yan. So dito ako mag-drawing. Pero again, mas gusto natin pag mas malinis yung chart, mas madaling mabasa. Ang price action, of course, right? So tingnan natin. That's the peak right there. I think I'd like to focus on that major level. Oh, sorry. I can remember monitoring this one right here. So I think I would like to add that. Not sure kung maalala nyo to, no? There was a point that we're looking at this one to break out, right? So let's see how we can take advantage of it, right? So yan, dito ako mas magfo-focus. So ibig sabihin, price is really showing this move right here. It's more of a downtrend, right? It's more of a downtrend that we're seeing now. So ibig sabihin, mas magigear ako towards a weaker dollar in terms of the Japanese yen for the rest of the week. We're seeing a bit of a shooting star there, right? Happening, though it's not as strong as we want because a shooting star should have the open and the close price below, or yeah, the 1/3 of, or below 1/3. Okay, sorry. The lower 1/3. Yun yung ibig sabihin na. Yung open and close should be on the lower 1/3 of the bar. So it's not actually lower 1/3, but it's kind of looking like it is. Kaya medyo hindi ako confident to get in on that trade on D1 right away. While your H4 is also pointing that direction, so it could possibly go for a quick swing here, which is not actually like a short-term move because it moves from like about 110 to 130 pips. If I'll take the previous bar as my entry, 140 pa nga full extension niya, I mean. But there's a bit of hesitation there. So, I'd like to see if I can go for a sell on D1. Yun yung susundin ko yung D1 ko na bias. But if I really want to go and be a little aggressive, it could be a short-term buy. If not this evening, probably tomorrow. But that buy would require a touch at least on the 38.2. Saka tayo mag-reset nung ng possession. So short-term buy somewhere here, a 50 pipper move, or if not, somewhere at the 50% fib na talaga. Yeah. So yun yung abangan ko. So I am really interested on a sell on D1. It's just that I'm not convinced with that shooting star there. Tingnan natin if there will be changes at least on the 4-hourly chart for that move. Kung ito magiging bounce nitong EMA, which is actually looking good. So kaya parang may oomph ng konti that I want to go for a buy. At the same time, I want to go and set a sell, right? You can do a straddle. Yeah, that's the technical term of it. Having a buy and a sell at the same time, and just need to cancel the other one once the other is triggered kasi, or else magiging hedging, right? So we don't want to hedge somewhere here. So but anyway, I'd like to monitor this further. Yeah. Kakasar, no? Parang, kanina pa ako dito. Paano naman ako mahanap na trade? Ayoko na. Right? Patience is a skill, ladies and gentlemen, right? So, especially as a currency trader, right? You want, again, lagi ko pong inuulit-ulit, you want to be in a position that you are confident on that trade. And at the same time, tawag dito, more than the confidence, you're comfortable taking the trade. Pero pag may konting, parang sandali, parang may something, sabi nga nila. So, then move on to the next currency pair instead. All right. Then I want to move on to gold, which already have moved there. Right? Kanina umaga. Pansinin nyo, ilang pips na rin ginalaw. Pero may consolidation kasi dito eh. Kaya medyo nag-aalangan po tayo kanina umaga looking at the consolidation. Pero anyway, let's have a black and white screen here. Okay, refresh. Sorry, let me remove everything. Kung ano napipindot ko. Sandali. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's have a fresh look on gold and let's go back to D1. Kung maalala nyo po, okay, if you were with me on the TGIFX chat that we have, that's the ceiling. And there was another one somewhere here. There you go. Oops, sorry. Hindi ko siya na-duplicate. Yan, okay. From here, yung tinitingnan natin, ayaw niya mag-breakout. Tapos, meron pa tayo ulit dito somewhere here, yung pinakalas niya na break. So, if that goes further, and magiging conservative ko probably would be this one. Okay? So, yan ang magiging levels natin for the rest of the week. Okay? Bounce. 1789 is the place to be. Hindi niya talaga na breakout yan. Though may mga signs dyan of a breakout, pero mas tindi yung shooting star na nangyari dito. Then it continued to go down. I can remember watching this this fractal right here Friday, and unfortunately, yep, I was somewhere else and I need to take care of that. So, I wasn't able to get that move. Pero dito tayo nakapasok sa GBPST. There was a pending order there already. So now we're back to or a little close to where the price started to drop from last week. So tingnan natin if there's a continuation to fill the price here, or in short term a correction, no. So I'd like to see it bounce off that EMA so we can go and have a level of support. Kumbaga, hinahanap ko po, to give you an example, is something like this, right? So parang nandito tayo. I don't want to go and buy right away. I would like to see that price bouncing off the EMA. It gives me more confidence that the price is likely to move in that direction. Bakit buy? If you notice, our 4-hourly chart have been showing this uptrend. If maalala nyo, meron tayong mga several buy orders here. Short term nga lang, tapos umakit na siya, nag-aantay tayo ng re-entry somewhere at this area. Hindi naman siya tumuloy, right? And dito tayo mag-aabang ulit ng buy. Okay? So, tingnan natin if this time or this week, the 1789 level can be broken. And if not, then probably by the end of the week, mag-change yung bias ko for a sell once it touch that ceiling, right? Kung hindi niya mabibreak yan. Pero let's see. A lot of things can happen. It's still Monday. And definitely, there are positions there to take. Okay, good. So for the people who are looking at Bitcoin, congratulations for the one who were able, or the ones who were able to catch that move. Nothing big here really to change my chart analysis. So nandiyan pa rin naman tayo. Kung maalala nyo, we're looking at this swing to continue, right? Swing, 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 swing. Medyo mas early siya dito sa 50% fib, which is really looking good. Look at that low test bar there being the catalyst or at least a reference of the move from earlier. Okay? So, nakikita natin siya ng continuation. But the last 4-hour bar is a doji. So, I would not suggest getting inside a doji. So, you're actually looking at an inside bar as they call it. Okay? So, doji alone is already an indecision. So, kung hindi niya ma-engulf or hindi niya mabibreak yan doji na yan, it's very difficult to say which trade or which position should we take, whether it's a buy or a sell. So, it's more of a guessing game there. But if you're already in the trade, my suggestion is to go and have a trail stop there in case the price breaks that doji towards the bullish area. Okay? So, tingnan natin. If it pulls back, then back to the EMA will be the closest entry for a continuation there. Kasi galing na siya sa 50% fib. Ganun. So, but again, hindi natin dinidiscount yung possibility that the price can still go and test the trend line. Right? It's not as perfect as we want it to be. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, at least so far, itong trend ang sinusunod niya. And this could possibly be a very good scenario or reason, because now the high is higher than the previous, definitely and obviously, right? So we are really seeing strength from the buyers for the last few weeks, right? Since the crossover. Okay, so kung maalala nyo dito, crossover, and yan, pataas na siya. Okay, so hawak lang sa lahat ng may mga cryptocurrency dyan in Bitcoin. Let's see if the price can really go back at least on the 28,000 level. Okay, so then again, a quick look on crude after it has broken the $90 level there. Look at that. And of course, as we have been monitoring crude for quite some time now, there will be a pullback on a rollback, I would say, on crude price tomorrow. So, kaya nga sabi ko kanina, hindi mo na ako naggas. Bukas na tayo magpagas. Sakto na rin yung, or malaking bagay na rin yung 2 pisong rollback doon. But so, tingnan natin. Can it possibly go and touch 84.39? Yun yung dinaabangan ko po from last week. I would possibly expect for a pullback first, right? Before it go back. Pero mukhang may possibility ng continuation na may expect natin dito. Okay? Sana siya. Wait sandali lang. Crude. Where is you? Ayan, yung inventory will be on Wednesday as well at 10:30. So tingnan natin if there will be big changes on crude inventory numbers, at least for USD. So tingnan natin why do we care? Yun na nga sabi ko. So well, it will be a primary gauge for or of supply and demands of crude in the market. All right. So let's see. Tingnan natin kung anong maganda dito. So far, sabi nga, the actual number, if it's less than the forecast, then it will be good for for what do you call this? Crude, right? So, pero yung last time is totally high. Yung August 3 na inventory, the forecasted is negative 1.4 million as far as the numbers are concerned. The actual then again became 4.5. So, yeah. So, the numbers high and it was not really good for the price of crude. Kung titingnan mo dyan, kasi bumababa, right? So, pag sinabi natin good, likely taas. Pero sa atin kasi pag tumataas, hindi siya talaga good. So, please make sure that you understand the context, right? Clearly, right? Kasi pag sinabing good, hindi necessarily like good yan sa lahat. It means good, tataas yung price. Pero, for us consumers, not really good, right? So, mas nagro-root tayo if kaya niya pang i-break yung $24 per barrel. Or sorry, 84.39 to be exact, right? If it can go, and actually that's the level that was broken in October, I mean, yeah, and was broken in January, and yun na nga, nagtaas-taas na, right? Or nagsusunod-sunod na yung pagtaas niya after that. So, we experienced this drop right here, and that downtrend has been the most significant move for this breakout from two levels that we were watching, 93 to the $90 per barrel. Now we're looking at the 84.39 level for crude price. Okay, so that's what we are waiting for to happen. But anyway, yeah, I still have some few things here. Tingnan natin very quickly. Oops, sorry, what happened? Oh yeah, these are the yen pairs. Let's have a go and have a quick run on the yen pairs as we have them as regulars. Okay, since I think like second or third week, third week ng July. Okay, but anyway, Euro USD, Euro JPY, nasa yen pairs na po tayo. Okay, downtrend is still in. Price is now touching the 137.13. So kung mapapansin nyo, I did not draw anything there kasi wala naman tayong masyadong significant na dinrawing or idinagdag dito, right? Pero kung gusto nyo, pwede nyo pa rin yan burahin, tas balikan nyo, right? So, sa akin, wala naman ako mga dinagdag dito and the levels are still obvious, so what's the point of confusing myself? So, tinitingnan pa rin natin yung level na saan siya pwedeng mag-continue. But then again, towards the trend line lang tayo dyan. So, this is really looking good, actually. It could be at 38.2, I think. Very close, very close. So that's very interesting there. So a long position is most likely I'll be taking. Yep, the one that I'll be taking. So tingnan natin, no. On the 1 hourly chart, that bounce is really looking good there. A bullish engulfing breaking that doji is much better, right? 15-minute chart, 15-minute, yep, bouncing off. Yeah, this one's really looking good. So I'm very much interested if I'll be getting in on yen tonight, and this would probably be a long position muna. Okay, following, sabihin nga natin, sorry, yeah, following this pattern right here. But then again, lagi kong sinasabi, kahit yun yung bias mo, please do not discount the fact that this can still be a breakout following, yeah, the long-term downtrend. Oh, sorry, I mean breakout. Yan, continuation itong long-term downtrend, right? It just recently touched the 50% fib. So let's see how how things can progress for the Japanese yen for the rest of the week. Okay, so let's look at Japanese yen across the board. AUD JPY. Okay, oops, tanggalin natin to. We're waiting for that fib pero hindi, binrake niya. Now we're on that extension. So, ibig lang sabihin, tinutuloy-tuloy niya po itong sideways na to. So, malamang sa malamang, kung papasok man tayo dito, buy pa rin tayo papunta doon. So, looking at two currency pairs, buy papunta doon if the price won't be back below 137.31. Then we are anticipating for a weaker yen for the rest of the week. Pero pag hindi nangyari yun, then possibly it will be a different story as the price can possibly, again, go back to the floor. Pero in that case, parang ayoko ng AUD JPY na move or na trade. Parang mas magigear ako towards euro yen in this case, right? So tingnan natin how would it relate to NZD JPY. Back to the D1 chart. We're in the middle of this sideways move pa rin. Look at that. Napakaganda nung nakabay tayo sana doon sa floor. Yep. Pero kung makabay kayo at na currently nasa position na kayo, I would say you want to trail your stop somewhere in this area once nag-bounce na to papunta doon, right? So, yeah. Kung mas confident kayo dun sa position nyo, you want to wait for the bounce before you go and set your, what you call this, trail stop, right? Kasi sometimes pwedeng ma-trail, ma-stop yung yung trade mo early, like prematurely, like what happened to me on GBPUSD. All right. But I think I was on the right timing lang naman on moving it. I got stop out early, then nag 2:1 siya. So 1:1 lang nakuha natin. Parang ganun. Okay? So, if I am to get in, I will wait for the bounce from the EMA. Doon ako papasok. So, we're a little bit far from the EMA. Abangan natin yan somewhere in this area. Okay? Okay. GBP yen or pound yen. We're looking at this downtrend. So, kung makikita nyo, no, medyo magkaiba yung movement nila. Mas clear yung sideways sa NZD at AUD yen, right? Euro, it's a bit of a downtrend, yes, but we're looking for that pullback. So it's almost identical to pound yen. Ang nakikita natin is a move towards that direction. Okay? So quite difficult for me, honestly, to find an entry price here. But this one's really looking good. Okay, towards that direction after the bounce, right? And natin sa dila. Oh, yeah. That's really looking good. If I will just monitor this here. Or sorry, take this one. Tapos pataas. So, just please be mindful of this diagonal resistance. Okay, again, for the people who have a long position in pound yen, bantayan nyo na lang muna itong area na to. Right? So, for me personally, I'm not taking any trade on pound yen. Not yet. I'd like to see a much better setup here. Okay? Like as always, I'll be more focused on the major currencies. Right? But Euro yen is definitely like triggering my interest there to monitor it for the rest of the evening, right? Anyway, moving on to Swiss yen, which is actually showing some downtrend na after yung tinitingnan nating move na to. Hindi siya nag-continue. Looking at that, tatanggalin ko lang ito. At tingnan ko nga, kailangan ba natin, yeah, I think I'm gonna move this a little lower here para ito yung masaabangan ko if the price can really break through, right? A little bit of an adjustment here. Okay, so tingnan natin. Tap. Balik dito ng konti. So, probably dito. Okay. So, if you are on a buy on Swiss yen already, please watch out for this diagonal trend line. So, somewhere at probably 141-ish. 30 to about 50. Yeah, 141.50. Yan, somewhere that area or that zone. Okay? So, anticipate for a reversal there. Pag hindi naman nag-show ng weakness si market or si Swiss, then we could possibly expect for a breakout this time, unlike what happened from the last days no, or mid July, no, wala na ng momentum and suddenly like drop na si Swiss. Yeah, so tingnan natin yan. Again, we're looking at a downtrend now, at least that's what my view is. Okay, kasi this one is lower than the previous. Oops, sorry, this one is lower than the previous. So let's see if this trend can possibly go, right? And the last but not the least of the yen pairs, let's go and check CAD yen here, which is now back above 103.80. Okay. If I am to take this in consideration, not necessarily in consideration, but if I will take this on my watch list, really like to go and trade this week, buy would be my bias here towards that direction. Yun yung una kong nakikita dito. Yun yung pinaka-reasonable for me. Pero wala akong makitang entry price. That hammer now is done and tested the last fractal high. So, continuation ito. So, somewhere at that bounce will be very good. But not as strong as what I've seen in the past. Parang wala masyadong momentum dito. So, parang may oomph. Buy ang bias pero hindi ako ganun ka-confident dun sa setup niya ngayon. So, see, checking the 15-minute chart kung magbibigay siya ng ibang dahilan, no? No, I don't think. I need to pass on CAD yen for the evening. If I'll be monitoring it, sabi ko nga, if I'll be monitoring some currency pairs, it won't be part of my list. Not tonight. Well, possibly we can go and check on this tomorrow again or on our midweek market review, which is on Wednesday. Okay, so those are the major currency pairs. We have the yen pairs added as well and crude, and at the same time, we'll look into the cryptocurrency. So if you have questions, clarifications, or anything, any reaction that you have on this Monday live market review, let me know on the comment section, or possibly, yeah, medyo naiiyak kayo dyan. As you always do, go and send me a screenshot, ha? Please. Yeah, reminder ko yan. If you're asking for my opinion on a chart or something, a screenshot would really be helpful. Especially if I'm out or outside, hindi ako makatingin sa chart ko agad-agad. Maganda po yung kita ko na kagad yung screenshot ng kung ano man yung question niya. Alright, so that's it for me today. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for making time as you are with me here live on this session since 8:30. So it's almost an hour. Yeah. Usually Monday yung mahaba talaga natin na session. But if you're watching this session a little bit later, right, please be advised that the market have moved and your chart might look a little bit different, especially if you're on the lower time frames, like 1 hour down to like about a minute kung doon kayo nakatingin. So price could have what do you call this, have moved, and the chart would possibly be looking differently from what you're seeing. Okay, so please apply trader's discretion. And if you have questions, wala pong masama magtanong. Okay, so I see you guys on Wednesday. Charts up at 8:30. And as always, you guys have a lovely evening. And if you find trading a little bit stressful, it only means you're not doing it properly. Because trading should be fun, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next session. Bye for now.